What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing today? Now today we got something a little bit different. We're headed downtown Toledo today to see a buddy who's got a big old warehouse just full of classic cars. He's got about maybe 19 or 20 in there, so gonna get down there, gonna do a little tour, show you guys around, and try to come home with without buying anything. So definitely going to be a fun one today. So stay tuned.
I can give you the one time tour.
Go for it.
Covers on a lot of stuff. So this is the dart here.
So this is an actual, you have the racing slips for this one.
Yep. Yeah, this one is believed to be, it's the earliest documented max wedge dart made.
That's insane.
Yeah, spent his whole life out near Pasadena.
Yep.
In early 1962, when they got it, they apparently blew up the original 413 in it. So this is a dealer-installed aftermarket block.
That's insane.
It was installed in late 62. Sponsored by Blair Speed Shop.
Torque Flight. That's so cool. I love the look of these old darts.
Yeah, this is one of those cars that's either you love it or hate it.
Yeah, I personally, I have a thing for the old Mopars, especially ones like this, like Belvedere's, darts, and satellites, because my dad got me into that stuff because he grew up, his first car was a 67 Cornet.
Okay.
So he's had Mopar for a long time.
Yeah, it's always a funny story because the designer of this car, which in the early 60s, what was his name? Anyway, he was making some pretty wild designs for Chrysler.
Yeah.
And in 1962, when they were designing the 62 model, the head of Chrysler said, look, you got to change this up because we've got a bunch of people that are really ticked off about what cars we're making, so either fix it or you're out of here.
Yep.
1962, at the auto show, when they debuted this, he got fired.
Really?
That is a true story. I personally was never really a fan of at least this body style with the dual headlight setup and weird looking.
It's very, very wavy.
Yeah, but seeing it in, a super stock car, it's kind of hard not to like.
It's got the cage in it too.
Yep, yeah, so this car
is insane.
It's unrestored, it has been repainted. It has 4,200 original miles on it.
Crazy.
Like I said, it's been its life.
Shot of that wedge.
This is a 1924 Willys Overland.
Yep.
This one is, we weren't really looking to get anything else, and this one popped up on my Facebook feed, and my great-grandfather used to work at Willys Overland in the 1920s, so I showed it to my parents when I found it, and my mom, of course, was like, oh my gosh, my grandpa probably built this car, and after they came home, but this is a completely original, it's about 90% original paint, original top, original interior.
Crazy.
The only things that we've done to it is new spark plug wires, tires, and we did put new rubber on the running boards because they were pretty much shot. But aside from that, everything else is 100% original.
That's crazy. You had this out yesterday, right?
Yep.
Is this what you've been driving around?
A little bit. We had it out at the Old West End Festival. This is one that we're still kind of working some kinks out because this was stored in a barn since 1960.
Where did you pick it up from?
Picked it up out of Huron, Ohio.
Oh, Huron, so probably somewhat farmer?
Yeah.
Had it in the barn?
His brother had gotten it in, I think, the 50s.
Gotcha.
And his brother was kind of a hoarder. So he kind of got this, took it in a couple parades, and then when he passed away, his brother got the car, which is who we got it from. He was 93, I think.
Okay.
And he basically, when he got the car, put it in his barn, and that's where it's at.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
It's insane. I love stories like that.
Yeah, the time capsule of it. And these are obviously aftermarket tires, but they're non-skid tires. They say it all the way around on the tread.
That's awesome. I honestly just wouldn't even touch it. Leave 100%. It the way it is.
Yep. Yeah, the fact that it's made it this long, every single thing works. The headlights work.
Yeah.
The tail light works. Even the original
That's crazy.
It has a dealer add-on Fat Man steering wheel.
Yeah.
To make it easier to get
yeah, so it tilts up.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Even the dash lights work. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's incredible that it's made it 101 years,
Yeah.
pretty much untouched.
Yeah, that's insane. How tricky is it to drive?
The drive isn't that bad. It does have a weird pedal arrangement. So your far
Gotcha.
left pedal is your clutch. Your center little button there, that's your
Gotcha.
throttle, and then your far right one is your brake.
Yeah, because when I drove a Model T, one of my grandfather's friends has he has a 1903 Oldsmobile, and he's got maybe a whole fleet of those old Oldsmobiles and a few Model Ts.
Yep.
And he's like, pull this lever, and then like the pedals are reversed. It's it's a doozy.
Yeah, this does have your spark advance here on the left side.
Yep.
You have your throttle on the right.
That's
So
crazy.
It takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
what's really weird about it is because this is so early on, this doesn't have a water pump.
Okay.
So it uses it's like a thermo recycle coolant system where basically your hot water just rises through the upper hose, cools as it goes through the radiator, and kind of siphons itself through there. So we are having a little bit of trouble keeping it cool.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we're kind of working on. We did have the radiator out, checked it for leaks and everything, but yeah.
It's crazy. That's beautiful. And the Nova.
And we got my Nova. This is one that I picked up last October.
Beautiful.
This has always been my dream car. I've always loved Pro Street cars. I've always loved third gen Nova.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was getting into high school, I was looking at them, and around that time you could pick up a decent one for maybe in like low teens, for like a nice looking presentable car.
Yeah.
They just exploded out of proportion.
Good you got it when you did then.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one I luckily found a deal. This was actually an old drag car that somebody had picked up and basically treated it as a Pro Street car, but didn't do anything to it. It still had 490 rear gear with a locker in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an 850 double pumper on it, so it wasn't really set up for the street that much.
Yeah.
So I put a 355 Posi in it, a detuned carburetor to get it a little bit more streetable. It's a 388 stroker.
Yep.
This right here is the engine that your uncle had in his car that used to hot beer cans in the 80s. It's got camel hump heads on it, and 850 double pumper. 750 double pumper. Straight out of the 80s.
Beautiful.
At some point, it's a turbo 350, but the one thing that I really liked about this car when I looked at it is, if you look on the inside, right next to the B&M shifter, it has a block-off plate on the trans tunnel, which indicated me that it was originally a 4-speed car. And when I look at it, I was talking with the buyer, and I said, yeah, it looks like this was a 4-speed car. And I picked up the carpet, and the clutch pedal is actually still under there.
No way.
So all the linkage and the clutch pedal, everything is just tucked under the carpet. So at some point, I'd like to put a 5-speed Tremec in this.
That'd be cool.
Ideally, at some point, a big block. But for right now, this is plenty of fun on the street.
I bet you get so many looks with this too.
Yeah, it's not very unsuspecting. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was one of the earlier cars that we got. This is another, if you want to call it a barn find. It's a 1970 Challenger, and it's an RT SE factory 426 car.
Oh, and plum crazy too?
It was originally it was dark green metallic with a green interior and a green vinyl top.
So this is a legit 426.
This is a 426.
Oh my gosh.
The story on this car is, in the 70s, it was a race car.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, we don't have any pictures of it or any, kind of paperwork with it. But underneath the car, it has a lot of suspension stuff has been removed,
Yeah.
so it looks like somebody put ladder bars on it.
Yeah.
Those have been taken out. But it was originally a race car, and I think in the early 80s, it was blown up, so it does have a replacement 426 in it. But once it got blown up, this guy apparently sold it to a friend of ours, who then basically painted it plum crazy purple, put it back to a street car.
Oh yeah.
And then he parked it in his warehouse. He had, I believe, 6 RTSE HEMI cars.
Crazy.
This is one of 37 with the automatic. So he had 6 or 7 of them.
That's crazy.
He parked it in his warehouse in the 80s, and it sat there until 2017 when we got it.
Beautiful.
And
This is like my dream spec Challenger.
Yeah.
The vinyl top and the plum crazy with the legitimate 426 in it.
The SE, you might be able to see it better from the inside, but the SE Special Edition gave you a small opera back window.
Yeah.
So it's just fiberglass inlay. But yeah, the interior's been swapped out, like I said, when they changed the color combo to plum crazy and black. It's pretty low mileage. It's 6,400 miles.
So where do you find these things? Because I'm sitting over here, I'm like wanting to have a collection of cars because currently I have the Porsche and then the International.
Yep.
But I definitely want to get into like the muscle car game. Like I'm looking at something cheap. So have you seen the old 60s Tornados?
Oh yeah.
The front wheel drive ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely interested in. But where on earth do you find all these things?
Yeah, so like this one, for example, was a friend of my dad's.
Gotcha.
But a lot of our cars we found from either Facebook, Hemmings, or
Hemmings is a good
yeah,
place. I'm on there a lot.
We found a couple on Bring a Trailer.
Yeah.
That we've gotten from there. This one is.
Oh, this is cool.
This has an interesting story, and it relates to the Belvedere up front, which I don't think we looked at yet. But originally, the Belvedere was built by a guy out in Canada.
Yeah.
And he drag raced out there. It's a 426 HEMI.
Yeah.
And it was called the Broadway HEMI. So he built that, and his wife was his crew chief. Him and his wife were huge into drag racing. And some point in, I think, the 90s, he got this for his wife.
Yeah.
And he built it as an exact replica to that Belvedere. So it's the same color, same interior, same wheels. It's narrowed, or not narrow. I don't think it's narrow, but it's mini tub. And this has it was a Mopar 400 that was stroked out to 93.
Okay.
So it's got dual quads on it. And for a station wagon, it moves it pretty good.
Hauls ass.
It moves it pretty good. Yep. Yeah, and it was a really funny story because when we originally got the Belvedere first, and we knew of this car because it was in a magazine article out from Canada, and we said, man, wouldn't that be awesome to be able to find the sister to it, you know? Mm-hmm. And we actually just got this car this past spring. I was at work, and I just sat down for lunch. Mm-hmm. I opened up my phone, and the first thing that popped up on Marketplace was this car. And it was in
Crazy.
Ontario, and I said, there's no way that this is the same car. And as soon as I opened up the pictures, I saw, torque thrust with, the mini tub rear end.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way.
Look at that.
We got in touch with the guy, and the owner of this car actually said, man, I knew the guy that built these cars, and he said, I really wanted to buy the Belvedere off of him, but when he passed away, his wife sold that, and I got the station wagon. But
That's awesome.
he had, because he told us when we contacted him, he said, I've had about 13 other people call me already on the car, and he says, the car has to go back to its sister. And
Yeah.
It's
It's just
destiny
right.
At this point. It was just wild that everything happened at the right time.
I've heard of it.
Detroit.
I've heard of it.
So it was actually a race car built by Plymouth.
Okay.
So it was in their racing division where they basically put a 426 HEMI and a 67 GTX and street raced it out in Detroit. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say a replica, but more of a tribute to it. Because obviously the Silver Bullet has a 426 HEMI. This is going to have a 440 big block.
Okay.
Yeah, this was another one that we picked up. It was a drag car. And it was kind of a unfinished project. The guy was trying to put it back to a street car. So we got it. We've been doing a lot of metal work. It had an 8 3/4 rear end in it. We put a Dana 60 in it.
Yep. Didn't a lot of the Chrysler cars have a Dana axles?
Yep, I think it was 1963 or 64.
Yeah.
If you had a HEMI 4-speed, they put a Dana 60 in it.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah, we did a little work to narrow the rear end a little more. So we did some fabrication work in the back to make those tires fit. Yeah, this is planned to get, like I said, we have the 440 for it already. We're putting a 6-pack setup on it, and not sure yet if we're going to do a HEMI 4-speed in it or a Tremec 5-speed. But it's definitely going to be a stick car when we're done.
Yeah, good choice. I love the GTXs so much.
Yep, this was I think, well, the Challenger was our first Mopar, and then this was, I think, the second one after that.
So it's fair to say you're definitely a Mopar guy, in a sense.
You know, it started out as, and I mean, we don't discriminate, but in the last, I'd say, year, we've acquired a lot of Mopars.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
That way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for me personally, I think Mopar really had it in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, they built some of the best stuff.
Oh yeah, they were going after, street racing and all that really cool stuff. So.
Yep.
So this one here this was our first car that we built. This is a 1941 Willys.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures of this one.
Yep. Yeah. So this one, when we got it, it had a 392 HEMI in it, but it was just it just had dual quads on it, and we ended up getting
huge.
392 HEMI. We put an 871 blower on it.
Off of Detroit.
What is it?
Detroit diesel.
No, well, I guess originally they came on a Detroit diesel. This is just an aftermarket from the blower shop.
Gotcha.
TBS. It had an automatic in it. We put a 5-speed Tremec in it. It's a narrowed 9-inch in the rear. I believe that, I'm not sure how wide they are in the back. They're 20-somethings wide, and I believe that's the widest tire Mickey Thompson makes.
That's insane. Beautiful. I love that. Is that purple?
Yep, this is actually a factory Mercury color from the 90s or 2000s.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I actually saw one in a parking lot. It was a couple years ago because I've never seen it. And I was like, that looks just like the Willys. And sure enough, and it's really cool in the sun because it actually has like an orange metal flake in it, a little bit of blue. Really, really pops in the sun.
Beautiful.
52 Cadillac. Series 62 convertible.
No way.
This is my dad got this one out of Rhode Island, and we originally went out to, there was an auction in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yep.
And they had one of these there. They had a 69 or a 70 Nova. It was a real 396 big block car, and they had a 57 Thunderbird, which we wanted to get for my mom. So we went there and we're like, okay, we each have one that we want to get, we got to come home with at least one. And of course, just like any auction, they went for twice.
Yeah.
The actual retail value.
Yeah.
So we left empty-handed.
Oh my gosh.
But my dad found this a little while afterwards, and this was I think it was restored in either the early 2000s. An older
beautiful.
gentleman had it. It's boat.
Oh, absolutely. But you just can't go wrong with that design.
Oh, no.
If you had a Cadillac in the 50s, then you were like, you had made it.
What's actually really funny is this car still has, I'm not sure if I can get the hood open with it, but when you bought it brand new at the dealership, you would have a little plaque underneath here that would have your name on it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Or at least who it was delivered to. So this one actually still has it right here.
No way.
And so Augustine Lanos was the one who bought this brand new, and I actually did some research to see who he was. And when he bought this car in 1952, he was 16 years old.
He was 16?
16 years old, out of Philadelphia, PA.
What the hell did that guy do?
A brand new 1952 Cadillac. Top of the line, Series 62, convertible.
What? He got set up right, I'll say that much.
Yeah, so either he had some really nice parents or...
Good paying job back then.
Yeah, a really, really good job.
I wonder what one of these would go for back then.
Shoot, I don't know if I... This one we might have the window sticker for, or a replica of it. I want to say it was maybe $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, which was astronomical.
Yeah,
about the price of a house back then.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
But in today's market, it's like, oh my gosh, $3,000 for a top of the line Cadillac. Wow.
I mean, just look at the inserts here on the side.
Yep.
So streamlined and so like we had Detroit in the 50s was all about like the fins and the chrome and long
even,
swoopy body lines.
I love, they have, the tailpipe and the bumper.
Yep.
But it's even
The
really
fuel
cool.
cap.
Yep, fuel cap.
Yeah, fuel
underneath
cap.
The tail light lid.
Oh, that is so awesome.
GM was...
They were way ahead of their time.
Yeah, because they started that with... Well, I think Cadillac actually started it in 52 or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But obviously the 57 and the Tri-5 Chevys had them.
Mm-hmm. So long I can't even get it one shot.
Yeah, this is... I think this is... Well, no, we have one that might be a little bit longer, but it's
Yeah.
close. It's a close call.
So over there, is that a Buick?
That one right there, yep, that's a Buick.
Yep.
Actually, next to it's another Cadillac.
This is kind of more my style since my truck's kind of from the same era, but it's nowhere near as valuable as this. This is a legit power wagon.
Yep, this is I think it's a 62. This was one that we picked up out of Pennsylvania. My dad's always wanted a power wagon.
Oh, I don't blame him.
And we found this one, and it's a solid truck overall, but it definitely needs some work. This is one that they made it sound a lot nicer in the description and on the phone than it was in person.
No, it's so good thing you went in person.
Yeah, and then after driving to Pennsylvania, it's kind of like, well, okay, it's still coming home.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one that we're just kind of collecting parts for right now, just to get ready for we have basically new bed sides for it, new tailgate, because the bed has just been really beat up. I think this was a farm truck at one point, which most of them were.
It's crazy how you use that.
PTO for it.
You'd use it as a farm. It's just regular farm equipment back then, but now it's just, you don't see these anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, this was pretty much the first off-road truck that any auto manufacturer produced, was the Power Wagon. And I never knew, but they really kept this body style from, I think they started in the early 40s, and they carried it all the way up to the late 60s.
Yeah.
It was the exact same body style. The only thing they changed were like the placement of the marker lights, and I think some stuff in the interior.
I think they had the philosophy of if it works so well, then why change it? I think Dodge has, it's kind of funny you say that because you see that now with the new Rams. Mm-hmm. They just really just go long in the tooth. But when it looks something like that, it's like, no, it's beautiful. If it works so well, then why change it? Yeah. Yeah. This is gorgeous.
This is actually when we went to Pennsylvania to get it. We just brought our F350 and our open trailer, and I told my dad, I said, you better look up, see how much that thing weighs, because, I don't know how much our trailer is rated for. And he's like, oh, it'll be fine, And we're driving out to Pennsylvania, we're about halfway there, and he leans over and he's like, hey, can you Google how much a Dodge Power Wagon weighs? I said, you bring this up now. I
just told you.
A 4-hour drive.
Yeah.
We'll just say it was F350 was squatting a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. So we had to reposition it a couple times so the hitch wasn't really close.
Yeah.
This is a 67 Oldsmobile 442.
Oh, yeah.
Convertible. And my dad, this is another one that my dad's always wanted because my grandpa bought brand new 1967 Cutlass. Yeah. It was a hard top, but we've been looking for a 67 442 for a while. This one popped up in Michigan.
It's a Michigan car?
Yep.
Well, it's whistle clean.
Yeah, I don't know if it was originally from Michigan or not.
Black vinyl.
Yeah, this was, somebody did a really, really nice restoration on this, and I think this is a car that, it wasn't a frame-off restoration, it was just kind of, repainted and that. Yeah. And that's why frame-off restoration cars are really nice, but with a non-frame-off car, you get stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you don't take doors off.
It's got a signature.
Shuts like a ball.
Yeah. Yeah, Olds back in the 60s, they were doing some pretty cool stuff too, obviously, with the Cutlass and the Toronado. I think that they were the cars for the engineers who were building them.
Yeah.
Then
this is one that's really, I mean, I really like it just because it's different.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, when you compare this from a popularity standpoint to a 67 Chevelle, and it's just, nobody even looks at this twice.
Yeah.
I think that the design of it is a little, some people don't like it with the sideways headlights, but
I like it.
I like it. I think it's a really good looking car.
Beautiful.
This is, I think, our first bring a trailer find. So my mom has never really been into cars.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get her to get a 57 Thunderbird forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, that seems like a car, that a mom should have.
Oh, yeah.
And we asked her, because we were watching Meekum or Barrett Jackson one day, and we said, what would it take you to get a Thunderbird? And she saw this color, which is gunmetal gray.
I really like that. Oh, with the red, too?
And she said it would have to be that color. That's the only way that I'm going to get one. And we found that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And we said, all right, we found it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, this one was a frame-off restoration.
The white walls, too?
Yep. It's got the original Y block in it.
Yeah. Weren't these, wasn't that a Lincoln Y block, I thought?
It might be. I think the Lincoln Y block was different. I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
But yeah, this is just a nice driver.
Yeah. Oh, it's a perfect Boulevard cruiser.
Yeah. This one is another pretty special car. So one of the, going along with love it or hate it body styles.
Yep.
This is a 1966 Dodge Charger.
Okay, so the early.
Yep. And this is an all original understored car. Original paint,
hell yeah.
original interior. But what makes this car really special is that it's an original 426 HEMI car.
Incredible.
And going back on the, looking back at the VIN number and the registries,
I love that design so much.
Yep. This was the 11th HEMI Charger built. 66 was the first year.
Crazy. Yeah, people are so back and forth on this design with like the pillarless windows and stuff, but I think it looks really good.
I think the coolest thing is the full length center console.
Yeah.
The fold down back seats.
Yep.
And even the back window, how it's kind of it's an inverted curve on the glass back there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this is, I think it's probably one of the coolest looking cars. I think they kind of stole the design from the Marlin.
Oh, I was thinking about that too. Yeah, the AMC Marlin.
They did.
Oh, totally
You
did.
look at the similarities, because this
Yeah,
came out
'cause
in
that-
66, the Marlin was 65.
Yeah, side body profile. It's all
Very similar.
very AMC reminiscent.
Yeah. Yeah, and this, like I said, this is a 426 car. It's actually, sorry, this has inside hood release, because Dodge had to make things complicated.
Oh hell yeah. And 426s are bringing decent money.
There's one on Bring a Trailer, just a 426 Hemi, just the engine, sold for 32.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because weren't these so fast in NASCAR that they banned them?
Yep.
Yeah. Super birds.
I think it was 1970.
70? Yeah,
was when
I
they-
think it was 70.
Yeah, well, because 1970 they stopped production. Well, 71 was the last year for the Hemi
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
Yeah, that was more for insurance companies were starting to get on Chrysler and say, hey, this isn't going to work for us.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate. Then they had like the 440s, which are still good, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't
and
Hemi.
then the smog act started coming.
5.2 Chrysler LAs and
Yeah. So this is kind of the complete other end of the spectrum. This is a 1932 Packard.
oh wow.
And the hood ornament is so sharp it'll cut right through the car cover. So. This was, aside from the Auburn, this was the top of the line car. This was the best thing that you could get in 1932. And it, to me, I think it's just wild looking at, this was, in the Depression, you're imagining, you're in Detroit, you lost everything. Some guy drives by and
Yeah.
it's just a kick in the gut.
I bet. These are beautiful. The long hoods, too, are just beautiful to me.
This is a straight 8.
I've actually never heard a straight 8 run.
Here, the
Yeah.
floor's got a little hole there.
Gorgeous. I've never heard a straight 8 run before. I've heard of plenty of straight 6s, but never.
It's super smooth.
I bet. You can balance a coin on it.
Yep. Yeah, and this is, what's really cool is it has, in the front of the bumpers, they have those big, they look like just ornaments, but they're actually weights to help kind of make the car ride smoother. And then you also have levering here, which I think it actuates how much pressure the shocks have, so you can change.
Oh, that's so
the
cool.
ride quality and everything.
It's like the air ride before air ride.
Yep. Yeah, you got your rumble seat in the back. On the other side, you've got your little golf club door. So
That's awesome.
You gotta go golfing when you have
Yeah,
a beer,
especially if you pay something like this, you better be going golfing. Yeah. Gorgeous.
The other thing that I think is kind of interesting is just given, in 1932, this was the flashiest car you could get.
Oh, I bet.
The only place that it says what car it is on the hubcaps. That's the only place that says Packard on the whole car.
Beautiful.
This is kind of another rear bird. This is a 53 Buick Skylark. This is, I would say, probably the nicest quality car that we have. This was a complete frame
Look at that ornament.
nut and bolt restoration.
Jeez, what happened to Buick?
So in 53, the Skylark was not a production model. So each one of these cars was hand built at the factory. It was based off the Roadmaster.
Yep.
And the only body panels that are still from a Buick Roadmaster are the hood and the trunk. Every other body panel it's been basically sectioned. The windshield has been chopped 1 inch or 2 inches at the factory. You've got a huge kind of flare on the body side.
Jeez, hand built too. Look at that interior. Gorgeous.
You have your white painted wheel wells. You would get white wheel wells on every color, but if you got, I think if it was black, you got a red wheel well.
Gotcha. God, that's beautiful. Rolling art forms in the 50s, but if you got hit by one, it's like,
Yeah.
pretty bad day.
Yeah, this one's got some momentum behind it when it's rolling down the road.
What's under the hood?
It's a nail head.
It's a nail head? Yep.
I'm not sure I've opened this hood in so long. I think this has a release on the inside too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was owned by some bigwig out in California that basically he got the car, he had it restored and said, I don't care how much it costs, make it perfect. Even the original cloth wiring, all your original connectors and everything.
It's pristine underneath here. Jesus.
This is one that we love to drive every one of our cars.
But this one you just have for
This is
special
one
occasion.
We do get it out. It's just one that it has to be the perfect occasion just because,
Yeah.
I mean, even like I said with the white painted wheel wells, I mean, it's like even if you run over a rock,
Yeah, it's gonna
chip
ding
the
it.
paint in
You'll
there.
chip the paint and
Yeah, this is, like I said, this still gets out to at least 1 or 2 car shows a year.
yeah.
But yeah, if
You
you're
have a
just
plethora
going
of options.
Yeah, if you're just going for a Saturday afternoon cruise, probably not going to do this one.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. It's like I'm somebody who's like, I'm sure you are the same. Like if you buy something, you want to drive it. But
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I make a very rare exception for letting something be a trailer queen.
absolutely, yeah. And even this.
And this is
Yeah, this
God.
still isn't a trailer queen. We'll still drive it, but That's what they're built for, is to drive.
Yep. That's beautiful. This might be one of the most beautiful Buicks I've ever seen.
Series 62 convertible.
God, the ornaments. I can't get past the ornaments. Beautiful. I like the green. It's an interesting apple green for the wheels. That's beautiful.
One of the cool features is, Cadillac didn't want to leave any stone unturned, so even on the windows, because you have the curved glass here in the corner, you'd have this big gap here in your door when you rolled your window down.
Yeah.
So they actually have this flap.
Oh, that's so
that
cool.
gap when you roll the window down.
That's awesome.
Because if you didn't, you'd have that huge open there, and
Yeah,
so that's just not
it
gonna work.
wouldn't be Cadillac quality.
3 on the tree,
Yep.
flathead V8.
Yep.
And these engines were actually put in tanks in the World War II.
I do remember reading something about that. What's the displacement on this?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. It's a 3. I think it's a 300 something.
Damn.
This is another interesting design where the exhaust manifolds are on the top.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think that was for the tanks, just for space.
Gotcha.
They carried that over into the automotive side. This is a 66.
Chevy 2.
Meant to be a replica of a L79. Basically your small block 4-speed.
Yep.
This actually has a 350 in it. It's dressed up to look like a 327.
So the 327s were the most popular Nova engine, right?
Yeah, that's what came in the high performance models.
Yeah.
This was owned by a gentleman that he had the car forever. And he got to the age where, because of 4-speed, he couldn't drive it anymore, just because of his knees.
Yeah.
And he had to sell it, so we ended up.
Went to a good home.
Yep, went to a good home.
And I know this one pretty well.
Yep, that one
MG.
It's my 53 MG TV.
That's awesome.
That was my grandpa's car.
Yep.
I grew up with this thing. I learned how to drive in it when I was 14.
Yep.
When I turned 15 and a half, got my learner's permit. My grandpa let me drive it to the car show. I put a pillow on the seat so I could see over the steering
That's
wheel.
awesome.
And this is really the car that got me into cars, because growing up, my dad didn't have anything yet. My grandpa had this. My uncle was always kind of into cars, but we didn't really see him a whole lot. So this is really the one that kind of started it all for me.
Beautiful.
4-cylinder, dual SU carburetors.
Yeah, and you have to, with a story like that, you've got to keep something around.
Yep.
Like that.
Yeah, and this was actually when my grandpa passed away. It went to my uncle, who had gifted him the car originally, and he hung on to the car a while. I think he drove it 2 or 3 times in the 6 years he had it, and just from sitting, it just deteriorated really quick. So the brakes were all seized up.
Yeah.
Fuel system was all clogged up. So I went through every rebuild, all the brakes, whole new fuel system, rebuilt the carburetors. Last year was the first year it was on the road since 2017.
Yeah. I love stories like that too.
This will actually be getting out today for the OSM Festival. I'm gonna
Awesome.
drive this one back home. So.